Well, the last battle went particularly well, 16 to 1. So in the next battle, I can only take 6 units, and I can scale those units up as high as I want to. So I have to choose what units to take, which is what I always do. And I decide to push the size of these units up. Of the 3 units, the 3 infantry units I'm going to take, I decide to push them up um, very high, planning on taking a lot of casualties in this battle, and then just rolling them straight over into the big two battles, Gaines's Mill and Malvern Hill. So I don't know if that's a great strategy or not, but the fact that I can push these units up to 2,000 if I want to and not affect scaling is a big part of why I decided to do this. So having my most powerful units also be oversized seems like a good plan. By the time I get to Antietam, I swap that around. I want my best units to be smaller and my green units to do most of the fighting in the grand battles, not the other way around. So at this point, I'm thinking in the grand battles, my best units will do most of the fighting because the AI units are going to be 2 and 3 stars. But what I found out is, no, if you use good combined arms tactics, um, you're fine. So the game for the Union is still the same. Get everybody 1 star and don't worry about it. And then fight using a combination of combined arms and use better tactics and stay in good cover. Catch the enemy in the open. And your battles will go just fine. So yeah, moving some officers around. Why do I have so few officers? Oh, because I already bought all the officers available pretty much except for 2. So, okay. And so I'm moving officers around a bit. I'm thinking about what units to bring. I'm running a little bit low on weapons. So one of the things is the past couple battles, I go ahead and buy the few remaining officers, and I only have 3 in inventory. And I mentioned this earlier, but I always run out of officers, and so in the comments section, been discussing why do I buy all the officers I can. Well, this is the reason. I run out of officers. I always run out of officers, and it gets worse the longer the game goes on. It's not until mid-game that I have enough officers for my army. And I only have 3 corps right now. I'm going to go to 4 corps. So I need 50 more officers than what I currently have. Well, actually more than that because the 3 corps aren't full. So yeah, as soon as I have 50 more officers, then I'll back off buying officers. And okay, so my plan was to fight a couple of side battles and get some cash. I'm back up to $160,000, back up to 30 reputation, and hopefully I can exchange reputation for weapons at some point very soon because I'm piling up reputation. I'd love to exchange some of that for Harper's Ferries and $162,000. I'm going to need a lot of money to upgrade and expand my units in Second Corps. And so I'm thinking, well, I'm going to just spend everything. Unlike my game on normal difficulty, I'm going to try to spend money and try to spend money aggressively to not have a bunch of cash lying around unless there's some really good reason. So yeah, I'm looking at my very, very small Second Corps. I've had a couple of great battles, but I do not have an army that's adequate for Gaines's Mill and Malvern Hill. I mean, it's not adequate. So yeah, I'm thinking about what units to bring. I'd like to bring, of course, snipers. I really want that second perk in for my snipers. That's really crucial, and getting the second perk for my artillery also crucial. I'm at this point in the playthrough, I'm okay with my guns being 6 guns per battery, but I changed that later on and to 8 as being the number that I'm more comfortable with. 6 is, I mean, most people build batteries of 12, so 6 is half, but I find 8 is just really, I'm a lot more confident with 8. I'm afraid that if I get into melee with 6, that unit's just going to be wiped out. And that is, if there's just one gun that survives, you can You can rebuild the unit. It's going to cost you, but you don't lose the XP. But if you lose the unit, that's a disaster for the army. So here I'm building oversized units. By oversized, I mean more than 1,600, and I'm using as many rookies as I possibly can, and then filling them out with veterans, keeping an eye on cost. I don't want to spend a bunch of money doing this. I just want to do it up to a certain point, and of course that guy took almost no losses in the last battle. And I really want this guy to get his second perk. My plan was for this unit to fight these two side battles and get the second perk. So 7 Pines doesn't scale. I put all those men into the army. It didn't scale at all. So I'm ready to go to 7 Pines. And I'll see you there.